2020's been a hell of a year, man. Ever since the start, really, stuff was looming over well, really before then, stuff looming over the corner. Towards the end of 2019, then come March, at least in America, come March, a lot of things changed, and I mean, it looked like there was a new normal, I guess, for everybody, and for the most part, throughout the year, it's been that way. But you know, this this is why I love this sport, man, and it's because of the UFC. Despite the fact that all sports were shut down, everything was shut down. The UFC, Dana White, everybody, they did their best. They did everything they could to make fights happen. For the most part, because they had to, right? And I've said this before when I was talking about Fight Island, but whenever Dana White says something, whenever he says the UFC is going to do something, the UFC is going to do whatever it is he said. They're, I mean, that's a given. Like if he says, we're going to start back in May, 249 is going to happen. Well, we're going to start in April, and then April they couldn't do it. Eventually, they got it. You know, nowhere in the almost nowhere in the country. Everywhere in the country said no, no, no. Um, they got it done in Jacksonville, and from then on, it was Fight Central. It was like it was heaven for fight fans. And 249 was amazing. I think as a card, it was 249 was probably their best card this year, man. They've had a lot of great cards, but I mean they came back with a vengeance, and it was awesome. Like in the main card, not all those fights in the main card could have been main events for fight nights or pay per views or whatever, but a lot of them could have been. And I mean fights almost fights every weekend. That's what it felt like, especially from what I do. I do a lot of prediction videos. It definitely kept me busy. I mean, there was plenty to talk about. Great, a lot of great fighters with proving why they were great. With like Habib, for example, man. Um, Regardless of what you think, if he's going to come back or not, he did retire, and that's probably like that was for me. That was the most impactful moment of the year in combat sports. Was Habib's retirement, winning the. I mean, not even just the retirement, everything that he went through. So, one of the worst things that can happen to a person, that can happen to a family, unfortunately happened to Habib. Dude's a soldier. He mourned a little for a short time and then strapped the boots on and went to work. And is almost everybody was like, you know, Gaethje's a tough. I mean, he's a tough go for anybody at lightweight, really. And I mean, it would make sense if you were to think, uh, if you were to pick Gaethje in that fight, it would have made sense. But Habib showed he showed what a champion's made of. He had the perfect game plan for him, and had a spectacular finish to that fight, and then retired. The greatest moment this year. You have rising stars like Hamzat Shemaev fighting twice within 2 weeks at different weight classes. Just came here to smash people and make money, man. And Kevin Holland, five wins this year. I think he has the most wins out of anybody this year, man. He speaks good when he's in front of the microphone. When the press is asking him questions, he speaks good. Adesanya, he probably had the worst fight this year, and one of the best performances this year. In 1 year. I mean, it's been a great year. This is because of recency bias. I want to say this is the best year the UFC's ever had, but I think that's hard to say. It's definitely one of the best years the UFC's ever had, and this is why I think MMA is the best sport on the planet, and the UFC is like the reason, is definitely the reason. And I'm grateful for the year, even though a lot of bad things, a lot of challenging things happened this year. The like almost every fight this year has been an example of what we as humans are made of. When adversity comes, we have a choice. We can cave to it, or we can weather the storm and rise above it. And if you're not inspired by the athletes that the UFC has, and and all of these, and to have that kind of adversity when you're in the ring with somebody, in the octagon with somebody, it's a perfect allegory for like the human condition. You have these two choices when things get tough. And like I said, I'm grateful for the year. I'm grateful for the UFC, combat sports, MMA, and I hope next year is even better. It'd be hard to top, but one thing the UFC does is they keep rising to the occasion. They keep topping themselves. So that's all I had for this video. I just wanted to put the year in perspective. Let me know what you think in the comments below. What was your favorite fight? What was your favorite moment of the year? And do you think this is the best year the UFC's ever had? And if not, who do what years do you think this year contests with? And yeah, that's it. Until next year, we'll see you.